Jeno Yoweri Kaguta Museveni luno balusimatuka mukama ajja kubaziza bibye bigambo kubanga ati byamuzitoweredde. So tulaba akatambi kano olwo tuke tutambule bulungi.
For letting me in and all the participants who have been today here. Thank you for keeping Uganda alive and kicking. I've had a chance to hear from my brother who has finished. He's worried of the church. But for me, I would add on that all what we are going through, the Catholic Church issued a bull in the 1500s up to now, which authorized the slavery and the robbery of Africans. Up to now, that bull is still around. It's a form of a doctrine. They still hold it. And if you talk about it, no Catholic priest or bishop would love to talk about that bull. Another issue here, you see the England got a big colony. Is because they also made their own church. And who else made the Bible? St. James, the King James Bible, the man who never believed the women. There is a lot around there. But these, I would say the church, the governments, the commerce, these are tools. Ugandans would love to see these tools work for us. But unfortunately, they are not working for us. There is somebody who is benefiting from from what they are doing now. Somebody is benefiting heavily. And partly is us, because even me, before I came to know it, I thought that this is a normal process. But as Ugandans, we need to change because we are part of the process. If we are part of the process, it means we only need a no in that process, and we skid the whole thing. What is making this thing big is that we are willing participants. If we wake up tomorrow and we say, this is not helping us, it's not serving us, the government is not serving us, the commerce is not serving us, the church is not serving us, the conquest is not serving us. There are measures we can take. But first and foremost, we have to look out for each other. We have to love each other. And we are the majority. You see how incredible it is. The people who are suffering because of these established systems, we are the majority. But because we have been made consumers of this nonsense, and we have willingly accepted it, there is no even any need to stop the juicy going to these people. But we can only do one thing: love ourselves who are suffering and turn the tide. The moment we do that, everything, can switch off. We can switch off the money flow. We can switch off anything, you mentioned it. But we have to know that we love each other. We have to work as a group which is affected and touched. We need to know that we now moving against the tide, but we have to be in our big numbers. Together, we can change even tomorrow if we mean to. But how do we move that process of turning the tide, of stopping the money flow? Because the moment we keep feeding this system, giving it our money, we're giving it strength, we withdraw the money, the system will collapse. Are we ready to do that? Are we Ugandans ready to love each other? Even a visitor who visited yesterday or today in Uganda, are we able to inform our visitors that here we love ourselves, we can start producing for ourselves? This is the same thing the Chinese did, and the system so that they cannot crush them. They had to work with them and adopt them or copy them in the World Trade Organization. I assure you Ugandans today, if we start this process, and there is, it's not much to do, but it's the willingness to mobilize our fellow Ugandans that if we turn around and we put a full stop today or tomorrow, we can get the change we deserve. But as of the moment, those who are there, they have fed on this, I would say, the required the dictatorship, because we are all, there is no one who is over 500 years. And we know that this slavery thing has been there for over 500 years. We are all babies of that horrible system. But we can stop it by saying no and love ourselves and start producing for ourselves. The moment we wait for the Mzungu to give us penicillin, we are doomed. The moment we wait for anything from the Mzungu, we are finished. Let us start tomorrow, today, and work on ourselves, see how we can love each other, work together, produce for ourselves, promote self-reliance. We will be there. It can take a month or 2 or 3, but if we start the process now, I assure you in 6 months, we will be able to say, whoever is tormenting Ugandans is not allowed. We are initiating new initiatives, but we have to be with one voice. We have to hold each other. Other than this process which we are doing, everyone moving by himself, move to the parliament, it's incredibly hard because the system which is there is vicious. We know how vicious it is. We need to be united. Imagine if Kampala.
As we conclude, Mr. Everest, because we're almost out of time.
Yeah, it's just a few bits. Imagine if Kampala, we wake up one day and we announce that we are moving to parliament. We are all holding our hands. We love each other, look out for each other. We will be there in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But as it stands, it will take some time. Thank you, members. Please let us unite, love each other, work together. We can put a full stop on this incredible or vicious system. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much, Everest. Dorcas, maybe hopefully you can give us a few more minutes because we have only like 2 minutes before the close, maybe 15 or so minutes. But yeah, thank you, Everest, for those remarks. Yes, we need to work together. We talk about starting the process. I think this process is already started. It's a matter of us coalescing around the process. The march to parliament, as you said, if we all march to parliament, whether in Kampala and all over the country, like they did in Kenya, where the people in all towns, major towns, it wasn't just Nairobi. But of course, a lot of people marched did something in Nairobi, but we need to mobilize ourselves. And as we saw, NUP, for instance, has the capacity to mobilize people. These national tours, you saw how hundreds of thousands of people would show up in the streets whenever the president would visit in Gulu, in Bali, and wherever they went. Hundreds. So the capacity is there. It's a matter of tapping into it towards the cause, which we are all looking for. How do we get people to the streets? How do we mobilize them, encourage them, and say, hey, guys, we may not be leading it, but yes, wherever you are, whether, you don't all have to come to Kampala. People in Kampala, of course, could go to parliament, but others can go other places. So we have the capacity. It's about working together, looking beyond leadership and titles, and saying, you know what, Uganda is for all of us. Let's do what is necessary to raise our voices. So thank you so much for that. Mr. Iga, Please, I think your last hand, sorry, Mimi's hand. I don't know if Mimi's gonna come. Adiga, please come.
Yeah, I hope we can hear this side.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't have good enough time what I had before, but our problem, as someone says, is all of us know the structure on the ground, not knowing the steps.
Sorry, voice is still muted. Sorry, distorted. If you're next to a guy on the live, I don't know if you might want to move away. Something is wrong with your.
Well, I thought everyone had me, so I don't know what's going on.
I hear you indeed. Comrade Joseph, can you confirm?
Yeah, actually, Dorcas, your connection is very poor. I don't know what's happening. So, Mr. Iga, we can hardly hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Mimi, Dorcas, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was saying sorry to Comrade Godfrey. I don't know what is really happening with the gadgets today. But could you send me a message and then I will read that out. What is on your mind? Please do speak to us. And also if we can have somebody from the UK, from the demonstration. Comrade Modi, do you want to take the mic and speak to us briefly on the demonstration yesterday? What your main call was to the UK government and of course the passers-by, or maybe Comrade Everest. I don't know if you were there. Yes, Comrade Modi, please tell us about the demonstration yesterday. I tried to put up a clip on the screen.
Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. And thanks for the activism. Thanks for loving your country. And ladies and gentlemen, let's carry on. Let's not stop. Let's all do what we can. And in the UK, all comrades came from all towns in the UK. We congregated outside the High Commission of London, which is in Trafalgar Square. The majority of you know in the UK would know where that is. And we were calling on the government of the UK to sanction. We were thanking them initially for what they did, to see that they sanctioned Anita Among for, everybody knows, the corruption, the government funds embezzlement, the murders, the abduction, the sodomizing of young, not only young, but innocent Ugandans. And the list goes on. So we were demanding, we put it out there, we shown the world what this regime is doing to Ugandans. We demanded that Anita Among must resign. We demanded that our brothers and sisters that came out on the streets to demand the resignation of that lady for all she's done be freed, that all political prisoners be freed. We demanded that the UK sanctions the chief thief, who we all know is Despot Museveni. We demanded for that loud and clear. We also demanded that the High Commission in London, the lady called Nishima Madivani, be sanctioned because she is abating all the corruption, all the abductions, all the implicating innocent people. She is in on it. So we demand that Moral UK sanction this lady and puts her straight. There were quite a few of us, and we made a point. And we appeal to all our brothers and sisters in the UK. When you hear the call, be the first ones to rise up. We're here talking about getting together, fighting together. But where are you, brothers and sisters? Where are you? Our nation is in dire state. You might go there today and come back. People are just living by the day. I mean, you know, what's happened recently. When was that? Yesterday. People are dying. And one of my colleagues said today, they are investing in army attire to kill Ugandans. They're not investing in anything to protect and keep Ugandans in peace. So our demonstration yesterday, I'll go back to that, it was there to highlight the injustices and to demand that the illegitimate regime, we made a point to that. And brothers and sisters, we need to keep banging on about it. This is not a legitimate regime. It is an illegitimate regime. We demanded that illegitimate regime, and it's people that are working for it, they resign. Anita Among must resign. Chief Thief Museveni must be sanctioned, and all the family. The likes of Owini Dolo, Biaba Kamal, the list goes on. They're all criminals. Uganda is being led by criminals. And we demanded hard and clear that all political prisoners in their droves be freed. And we need to keep calling this out. Brothers and sisters, let's not stop. It may sound like a broken record, but eventually we will get there. Keeping quiet is not an option. Thanks very much. That's all I can fill you in with.
Dorcas?
Speaking in a muted mic. Thank you so much, comrade, for that. And it is very clear, we can see that in the pictures. I was sharing the pictures while you were speaking, Comrade Modi, to show people it was really colorful. So many people turned up for the demonstration. Even if it was just a handful, it would still mean something, because we have got to speak up. We've got to let these people know that they deal with dictator Museveni. He's a murderous one. He's so brutal, and it is unacceptable for them to do business as usual. It is not normal to work with a murderer and think it's okay. Their money buys tear gas, bullets, and kills Ugandans. Right now, as we speak, so many people are being abducted, they're raped, beaten, tortured, you know, to death. Some of them are tortured to death, you know. So it is unacceptable. And it is our duty, ladies and gentlemen, to let these people know. Right now in the UK, they're telling, oh, foreigners must leave. But like Comrade James said, we have to remind them, let them create that peace back home. Let them stop working with dictators, murderers. Then we'll not even want to be here. Who wants to be in the UK? I personally don't, you know. I would rather be home, enjoy the sunshine, the good food, and the good environment. But it is sad that we've got to stay here. Yeah, so we've got to remind them we do not actually want to be here. They need to stop aiding the dictator in murdering people, abducting people, illegally detaining people. We will be happy in our homeland. Thank you so much, guys. We have come to a close. Comrade Ismail, I don't know if you have something to say. Then we'll hear from Comrade Joseph and close. Thank you. I'm trying to stop the sharing. Comrade Ismail, are you still with us? I don't know if you lost your co-host option. Is Ismail with us? No. Sister Mimi, do come in, then we'll roll over to Joseph and close. Oops, you're muted. We'll be closing.
Comrades, we are just so, you know, we will keep on meeting and meeting, but what is next? I think that is what we have to really, as this space, what is the next things we have to do? the week is coming next. So what are we going to do? So that is my question. I think we have to start becoming more actionable and just promising ourselves that whenever we meet the following week, this is at least one thing we should do, so that we do not just remain a space that we just discuss, some of us, me, I lament, I always lament, of course. What can we do? Like one of the comrades says, if there's demonstrations, join those. If there's, discussion, Twitter spaces, do that. If we are going to support I was on the Twitter space for the ones that want to march, for the young people that want to march, they need posters. They need posters, and each poster is $10. There's a funding, whatever thing that is out there, 10 Uganda shillings each poster, and they need more. And what their strategy is they want to start going, because people don't they found out that when people talk about corruption, they think that it's just when you meet a police officer and you give them bribe. That is how the scope of understanding corruption is in Uganda. Like you bribe someone for service to go, to go through faster. So they are thinking of different ways of doing these things, like distributing flyers with a little description of what really corruption and how it affects them. And so they need some little money. 10 shillings is about, I don't know how many cents. So if you can, any number of posters, at least we need to get that going, because people are not understanding the intensity of things like corruption. That's why we have things, the landslides going down, and there is no equipment to go and rescue our people. It's because of corruption. People don't understand that it's connected. They are putting money that is supposed to go and buy equipment, fire, whatever, this large equipment that can help people, rescue people like in this disaster, but they can't connect. And we need that to be going out. Not only in cities. There are people who are educated, people who are whatever, but in butales, in villages, so that people can connect how corruption affects you as an individual, as a family, as a, student. You think that even a student, you are also affected. Anybody. So educating our people, I think, is very key. And then maybe that will enable people to stand up, to wake up. But right now they think, why should I join that? Because I need to continue by driving my tax, I would bribe the bond. They are thinking corruption in that form. So we need to support them. Let us not be just quiet. Let us not just come every Saturday twittering. Let us send this money. $5, £5, whatever. That is going to, if you translate it to Uganda shillings, at least it's going to produce 10 posters, these little posters of people educating people what corruption is and why they should join the march to the whatever parliament. So that is my only urging to you. Thank you. But thank you so much, Dorcas, for keep this space going. And guys, let us keep on sharing. Saturday, everybody knows it's a Saturday. Share to any of your groups, any of your friends, so that we can come up. But more so, let us support these young kids to do what they need to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Mimi, for that. I thank you guys more for keeping the fire burning, because whenever I put the link, the Zoom on, you guys show up, and then there is a conversation. So it's not just by myself, but as a team, we keep the fire burning. We've kept it burning for the last 3 years or so. So let us continue to do that. And I agree with you. Yes, on the platform, we don't just lament, we do amplify sound. We did just conclude civic education in May. So we do teach people about the human rights, how we can fight for our rights. And one of the comrades is asking what we'll do about Achileo. Our work is to really demand. I've put a tweet, there's a tweet out. If you can all go to the handle, name is Uganda is Bleeding, but the handle is at Stand Up Uganda, meaning we do not stop at lamenting, but we advocate for our brothers and sisters. So we're saying we demand for the immediate release of our brother, Achileo Chivumbi, and the freedom of all political prisoners and the prisoners of conscience. And then we tag the murderer himself, and of course his fake judiciary system and the police Uganda. And we are telling them to end the torture, the abductions, the killings. You know, our work is to amplify and tag all the news people, tag whoever you think you should tag. So reply to the tweet. There's just one tweet. There will be other tweets. We've not been able to put tweets out for the last few months. We did have a bit of issues with the handle. So please do go to look for us and let's amplify sound. That is one way we can do this. And the other way is to go and physically demand for this young man to be released. What's his crime? Even then, why torture him? And not just him, there's so many young people in jail, in detention. What is happening, you know, to our brothers and sisters? Olivia Lutaya, and there's so many other comrades, you know, so it is unacceptable. Comrade Godfrey, you put a message. I'll hand that over to Joseph to take your message and to also conclude. Comrade Joseph, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. What's the message? What are we doing about Comrade? Okay, what's the message? I've not seen the message.
I think Comrade Godfrey was struggling. He must have put a message in the chat. And yes, for this one, what we're doing about Comrade Chivumbi, I have put a tweet on the platform. Let us tweet. Let us amplify that tweet. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Dorcas, I saw, I know you said we are closing, but Robina, I think Robina had put up her hand.
Oh, I had.
Sorry. But Robina, are you available you want to speak? Or did she leave?
I've passed the mic on, yeah. Is it Mukasa? Miss Mukasa,
yeah,
please?
Yeah. Let me ask to mute.
Yeah.
Robina? Because she doesn't normally speak, so I want to give her an opportunity to say something. But if not, then I will close.
Just give her a minute. I don't know. Miss Robina, please do pick the mic and speak to us. Thank you. If you can, you just have to click unmute and then the mic is yours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the one who posted what are we doing about Achileo.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've had that answered, and in the chat room I'm reading the post. So thank you so much. You are doing something. I'm so passionate about Achileo, the work he's doing. I've met him one-on-one and I've been supporting him the last 3 years. So I just want to see him freed immediately. So anything we are doing to free him is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Mukasa. Yes, Dorcas, thank you so much. Dorcas put a tweet, and of course, amplifying sound in Twitter spaces everywhere. Demonstrations highlighting the the high-profile cases, Achileo, and of course, we should never forget Olivia Lutaya. Olivia Lutaya is standing out to be like a Mandela in the sense that she has refused to be compromised. I think that is the reason why she's still in prison. I think she's not in any way bending resolve. Apparently, in many cases, people can be freed if they say, I'm going to keep quiet once I get out. Or, there is some way that, there is some condition for release, and it seems like Olivia has refused to accept the condition. So she's a lady who's been in prison for over 4 years with a kid, and so she's one of the people that we always, along with the new abductees like Achileo, should always kind of highlight, and of course, everyone that's abducted, every life is very, very precious. We should be speaking out and highlighting the cause. And with that, Dorcas, I'm going to make my closing remarks. Modi said, silence. Thank you, Modi, for that. And Dorcas and everyone in the UK that participated in the demonstration yesterday in the UK, highlighting human rights abuses. And of course, Achileo, I saw Poster Achileo was also one of the people that highlighted in terms of freeing the prisoners. And as I said, silence is not an option. It should not be an option. And we can do the least we can do in the diaspora. This protest should be massive, and especially in big population centers where Ugandans are, like in London. There should not be an excuse. If we know about the protest a few weeks ahead, we can ask. We can always sacrifice a little bit, because it involves sacrifice. We all sacrifice work, not getting paid maybe that day and traveling and whatever. That's a little bit we can do for our country. Let's sacrifice and turn up in numbers. I mean, you don't have to show up at every protest, but if you can, that is best. That's great, but at least every now and then, if you say, what, I'm going to plan to attend this protest. I'm going to plan to go speak. Even if you do not show your face, but your presence there is very, very, very important. It shows that Ugandans really do care and they've shown up in big numbers. You can hold a sign and cover your face if you want, but you are there. It's very, very important. Instead of just lamenting, oh God, Museveni is this, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So that was great. And also you mentioned about the UK immigrant crisis. That's what's happening. They say, oh, immigrants go home, and because some kid killed one refugee or whatever, someone whose parents kid killed some British kids, and now they're taking on immigrants all over the UK. And of course, in the US, we've had cases of police brutality against Black people. And, you can say that, well, these are African Americans, but in some places in the US, you could be stopped for a traffic offense, or you can be profiled just because you're Black. Maybe you're driving a nice car and you're in an area where Black people are not wanted. So the sense is that this is not, even though we are citizens of this country, we earn citizenship, some of us are born here, or born in whatever countries, but these Europeans look at you as a foreigner, as unwanted. They blame you for this and that. So it's incumbent upon us to and then they're coming to our countries and taking over. So because we have people who are unaccountable in governance, we need to make sure that we rescue our country before we even lose that. We could go to Uganda and become, and still face the same kind of challenges. If we allow the Chinese and whoever the Indians and the Europeans to take over, because Museveni is not allowing them. So long as Museveni is gaining whatever he wants from it and his family, they click, just like in countries in the US and Europe. You have some really rich, say, African Americans and Black people, but then you go to a lot of areas where there's a lot of poverty, a lot of unemployment, a lot of deprivation. We don't want that. Some small group benefiting, while the majority are more or less slaves to economic conditions. So we cannot just say, oh, because I'm in America, I'm secure. What if you get someone like Trump who wakes up one day and say, you know what, like maybe your kids are born here, but because now they're talking about children born, there is something about changing citizenship requirements, or even kids born to immigrants who are no longer necessarily going to be getting citizenship if they go through them. If your kids are denied that, then you may want to find yourself, you may say, you know what am I doing here if my kids don't have the rights of citizenship because I'm an immigrant? So these kind of things are such that we need to say, you know what, we need to rally behind our country and make sure we rescue it and we own it, because that's home. This West home is always the best. And as Mimi said, and this is very, very important, instead of, you know, let's identify actionable items that we can do. It's good that DOCUS, you tweeted about at your level, but I think Mimi was saying, you know, if the actions that are taking place in the ground and there's an avenue through which maybe we can contribute however little money we can. I think 10 shillings is maybe less than 3 cents in Uganda. I mean, less than 3 US cents. And, you know, whatever can contribute, if there's a, you know, it's something that can make a difference, you know, let's sacrifice of $3 or $4 and send it, so long as we can get some kind of, I mean, accountability for me is very, very important. And we, you know, like whoever's involved, I mean, it's not that we're going to get a nitty-gritty of every dollar spent, but we know the channels and we can get some kind of sense of how the money is being used and allocated to different elements within the actions. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, DOCUS, for always being the bedrock of this whole, I mean, he started this Uganda's Bleeding, and you've been a consistent, you know, presence, and we really can't take it for, we don't take it for granted. You know, despite sickness, despite all the challenges they're going through, you continue, and discouragement, not to say that, yeah, there are things that happen that sometimes, you know, get into our moral kind of spirit, but, you know, you carried on, and really, really appreciative. And now let's just see that DOCUS's work, you know, is not in vain, that we actually do something and rally around our people at home that are trying to do something, that we also, in countries where we can demonstrate, we actually stand up, as Modi said, because silence is not an option, and do whatever we can and support the demonstrations and everything else that's happening. So thank you so much, DOCUS. Those are my remarks today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, comrade. It is a collective effort. It starts with you, myself, and each and every one of us. We have to do something, and unity is crucial. Comrade Everest mentioned that. I think Dr. James might have to speak to us in the next session, because when it comes to mobilization, I cannot task anyone apart from Dr. James to teach us how he does it, because he comes from Busia, and the people of Busia are so mobilized, and he continues to work. So we need to learn, because even this march to parliament, we've got to get to that level whereby we don't even have to worry about posters, about giving somebody transport, about ABC. People should actually want to do this. We should want to be free. We do not need to be mobilized, to be given flyers, to be given ABC. We have to go down to the grassroots. Let us speak to our family members. Let us speak to our friends. And then those people have got their groups of 10. We all have our groups, and let us speak. Let information cascade, you know, so that when we go to the get that dictator out, it's even, we just take him by surprise. So, because even the people printing the posters, they end up being abducted. People printing the T-shirts, they end up serving a sentence in jail. So let us learn to work smart. So those are some of the things that we need to discuss in the next meeting. How do we move from here to there? And what are the tools we are going to employ? What are we going to do about it? Because us saying, oh, let's facilitate the people on ground, the people on ground, actually, they're people who are working. If they're unable to go to a protest, they can actually facilitate those that are going. They can buy some water or chapati or something, you know. So let us not think that the diaspora exists to only facilitate, but we can all work together as a team. You know, let us get to that level whereby we do not need to tell somebody, oh, you see this poster, do as told. No, let us get to that level. We will be having more. We will plan some lessons, tactics. These are things we are going to do during the course of the week, the coming weeks. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Comrade Godfrey, apologies, I do not know what happened. We will check the gadgets in the week. And thank you so much, each and everyone. And let's speak again on Saturday, 2 p.m. UK time. The link is always the same. Save it, save the time, and let's meet on Saturday. And do attend the Twitter spaces that are ongoing. Do join the discussions and amplify sound. Make sure you create a Twitter account if you don't have one, because that's where we don't have guns. Those are our guns, social media. Come on, guys, we can do this. Thank you so much, Comrade Joseph, Teacher Mimi, Comrade Ismail, you've gone off. Brother Modi, Sister Linda, typing error to Msime, each and every one of you, Rose. Thank you so much. Comrade Modi, I think I'll unmute and you close us off. Guys, you should be able to unmute.
Yes. Good evening again. Good afternoon. Good morning. We're gonna do the people power call on the count of 3, and then we shall sing Ngule in English and then in Luganda. Without wasting any more time, 3, 2, 1. People power.
Our power.
And our power, comrades.
People power.
Yes.
People power, our power, people power. Kale, ensi yaffe bwetyo bweri naffe bwe tutyo bwe tuli. Buli olukya tusigala tulina obuvunaanyizibwa butwetisse nga tuli ku bwongo bwaffe buli ku mitwe gyaffe okulanga eggwanga lyaffe tulitandika bupya, tulitandika bulungi nga tujja wabala badde balidde bonkanyizza tuteekwa abo abanalitwala obuwanguzi bibeera ensi ennungi ensi eyagaza. Naye nga tumanyi kijja kuba era tujja kisobola ng'Omukama ye mubeezi waffe era ng'ali naffe. Naye nga naffe tukola ebigwanidde, tugambye ebigwanidde bwe tufunamu ebinaatwala Gen. Museveni okumujja mu ntebe, olwate buli kimu tulabe nga tuteeka eggwanga ku mulembe gwe lirina okubeerako, ku mutindo olina okutuulako, Bannayuganda beeyagalire mu nsi yabwe. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna, Omukama Katonda wensi abakuume, tujja kubatuddamu.